Welcome back. So, today we're going to resume our latest work on Rescatux. So, yeah, let's read some stuff. So, apparently we were working on the GIT reorganization. So, after having rebuilt all of the repository directory, we did some reorganization, okay? So, yeah. So basically what happened here is that we had the old stuff. So the old stuff had many files that needed to be removed. And so the idea was to, you know, wait a second. What the hell have I done? Okay, so um, one second, please. Currently having some trouble here. Let me just, let's open the chat in a nice place so that I can take a look at it if it's needed. So just in case someone wants to say something, you know what I mean? So basically, we had this old directory which was Rescatux that has all of the stuff, all of the, wait a moment. So let's start over. So we had this Rescatux directory with all the with the old stuff. Then we wanted to create a snapshot thanks to a branch instead of a tag. And I managed to move the old Rescatux into Rescatux pre-2026 architecture with untrack files. So I have a lot of untrack files in this directory. And now we are in Rescatux, and I want to remove everything. So let me show you real quick. So if I reload everything, what happens here is that at the very top we have the 2026 architecture. We also have the pre-2026 architecture and the pre-2026 architecture and track files. But these are, branches that live in different, what's the name? That live in different directories because they are in different work trees. You know what I mean? So Rescatux is in here. You can see the work tree list here. So the new Rescatux is in here, and we have the bookboard 2026 architecture, and then we have another one here, the 2026 pre-2026 architecture, and this is the one with untrack files. This is the most interesting one. So if we go here, we can see if we run hit the status, all of the stuff that we have here that we have not removed, we have not said, okay, let's remove all of this bullshit that we are no longer using, and let's go on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything in the Rescatux directory. So let's go to this Rescatux directory, and let's try to remove everything, but maybe the copyright and something else. But the idea is to remove everything and start from scratch, because otherwise, you know, I don't know. The idea is to start from scratch. You know what I mean? So how do we remove everything? I have no idea. Maybe hit rm dot, something like this. So I just said remove 2026 303 removal. So I can say something like we remove everything so that we can start from scratch with a new build architecture. That's more or less the idea that we have here. So we could have, you know, we could have left some files here and there, but then maybe, you know, maybe too much stuff. So now if you ls, there's nothing, maybe some empty files, .git. Yeah, .git needs to be there. Okay. So that's what it is. And yeah. So second. Okay, let's do this. So the nice thing is that now I can open the old files from elsewhere, and we can come back to whatever we had before if ever it's needed in the other work tree. You know what I mean? So if you want, I can also show 3 major improvement stage. Yeah. Developer shell. Add a version file. Add live build and live boot as models. Oh, look at that. Salsa Debian. Yeah. I don't want to be using that. 1 second, please. Okay, so let's start with all of that. So initial repository layout. Wait a moment. Yeah. Let's start with all of this, and we will figure out. So let's see how I send this thing so that you can see it. Is it like this? It's going to be better. Yeah, hopefully. It's much better for you to take a look at this. Like this. So we already have the directory, so it's just a matter of create the main directories and so on. Then we add everything. Yeah, the problem here is that you cannot make a commit. So you can see here how it creates a lot of directories, then it adds them somehow. I mean, it doesn't detect anything because these are directories. That's not how it works. So maybe we can add the version, maybe not. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we should commit later. In any case, shouldn't. Okay, let's add GPT. Identify which of those directories are used for temporary file for non for untracked files used for hit untracked files, and help me create proper hit ignore files so that these directories are properly added to the hit repo even if they are currently empty. So make sure to exclude those directories which are going to have tracked files later. Hopefully. Okay, so directories that should be tracked even if empty. It's this thing here. Okay. Directories should be ignored. Build artifacts generated. They should not be tracked but matrices locally. And external, which has zip models. Okay, so hit ignore. Build artifacts. Debian build leftovers. I'm not going to have these live build artifacts. Ensure attract history is used with .githim. Optional, git directory is structured but ignore contents. If you want directories visible but context ignore. This is useful if you want predictable directory tree. Okay, so recommended approach: ignore build artifacts completely, do not track build or dist, keep repo clean and reproducible. Final summary. Damn it, it's for now. Directories that should be tracked even if empty. These define your architecture and must exist in HIT. Config common, config platform, external. Okay, so these are not the ones. Directories that should be ignored. Build artifacts. Build deps. Build work. Dist. Ensure track directory. Instead of tracking them, ensure the scripts do this. No. This is the one that I want to be using. I think this is what I want to do. So I want to create this hit ignore with all of this, but I prefer so I would like to implement this approach, but I would like to implement this approach but use hit ignore in the different directories so that deps work. These are things that must exist so that we do not rely in a root hit ignore for these files. Perfect. Okay. We do not ignore build at root. Parent must not be ignored, otherwise shalt. Yeah, okay, so. Yeah, so this already exists, I guess. But if it does not exist, I will create it, and doesn't matter. So we create all of this. Wait, touch. Remove old commit text. Yeah, but I can create this thing, but okay, let's touch all of this for now. And now let's, build hit ignore. Let's use my let's see. So hit ignore. So let's overwrite, and I will check the rest of the files in the other directives. So build deps hit ignore. So hit ignore. Okay. And what about build work? Dot hit ignore. Let's just overwrite. And we are missing this. And once again, we copy and paste from, from the LLM, and we overwrite. Remove. Yes, so now we should be able to add some stuff, which is hit build and dist. And if you take a look at what's going to be added, we can see how the build root ignores everything but depth and work, and then here, yeah, we ignore the dependencies and and the work and the build work and the dist. Okay, so this is going to be something like add empty build and these directories, something like that. Yeah, maybe the other way around. Add empty disk directory an empty build theirs. Let's do that like this. So right now we have build this and so on, and we have more we have more more files that we have here. So build dist. So we have builder, config, external scripts. That's what we were discussing here, if this needs to be added or not, okay? So let's work with this. So the first one, build, we have already dealt with it. Then we have builder, okay? So builder, what the hell is builder? This has all the files, isn't it? The special case external. Parallel builds. Add version file. Okay, let's try to improve this thing with because how do I detect empty directories that are not tracked with hit with a one-liner, something like that. Hit doesn't track directories, only files. So You specifically want directories ignored by git, not tracked due to a hit ignore. Contain non-track files even if not empty. Yeah, probably this is the one that I want to be using. Let me see. Hit the last files, whatever. And this is not what I meant to be doing. Rep. Let me check this one. Maybe I can do something like max def 1, which is what I'm looking for. So, scripts external builder. Builder depths. Wait a second. Okay, so here we have builder, config platform, config common, and scripts and external. This makes sense. So this is the one that I want to be using in order to find out not path. Okay, let's write down it in the nodes around here to find some empty directories. This is useful when adding stuff from scratch. Okay, let's maybe I should be, let me see. So builder depths. Wait a second, builder depths. What the hell is this about? Rescatux build architecture. I think I need to just update this page and hopefully I can get the latest. So builder depths. So what the hell is builder depths? So here at the very top we have created builder depths because there was an MKD or something. Let me see. So build depths makes sense, but builder depths. Okay, so builder depths, Docker file. Okay, so these are not dependencies. These are actually actual files. So I'm going to remove builder for now, I think, from here, because it doesn't help me to understand what's going on in here. So now we have config, we have scripts, and we have external. So config platform and config common. Config platform, config common. These are files that we actually want to have. So there's no need to create them empty. So let's just remove config for now. And what about scripts? So scripts, yeah, scripts. We also want to have scripts around here. And what about external? External has the live build submodule and live build submodule. So we actually want to be working with that. So right now we should be working wait a moment. Does this work with an URL? So this is like if you cloned from elsewhere. But I want it to work locally. But the guys that download this also want, I mean, so submodules are local, but when you do the clone, it's going to take them from .gat, isn't it? And it's going to be saving the origin? No, it's not. Or is it? Yeah, so somehow I need to be rethinking all of this, because I'm supposed to be having so maybe yeah. How do I add a submodule in a specific branch or tag? How to specify a branch tag when adding a hit submodule? Okay, so you use this thing here, branch name, repository URL, and path to submodule. Yeah, quite easy. So basically, we want to tailor this thing to, so this is going to be external build, and the other one it's going to be external live boot. So let me see. Let's take a look at Rescatux repos. If I go into live build, I can see here a repo which is bookborn, docker, whatever, and I can see how this has not been pushed anywhere, and maybe it needs to be pushed somewhere so that this makes sense. Hit push origin, GitHub origin, this thing here. Permission denied. What the hell? GitHub origin. Salsa push, salsa upstream. So do you think I have done something right in any time? So this was by university, but I don't know which one. Maybe this one here, Western Washington, whatever. So it's val and then SSH at, I think. I don't know. Wait a second. What the hell? Salsa. Yeah, maybe I cannot push into here anymore because I don't know. So I guess I will have to, to log in GitHub and so on properly. So I'm working on the other, on the other screen so that I can check what the hell is allowed in Rescatux repo and what the hell is allowed in the live build repo, because I thought that they had the different codes, different, maybe it's the preferences that. Okay, let me see. SSH. There are no SSH key associated to your account. What the hell? Why is that so? They have. Okay, let me see. New SSH key. Let me see. Okay, now it's asking for 2FA and And yeah, where the hell is? Okay, 1 second, please, so that I can enable this thing here. So now I have a key, which hopefully it's going to be it's going to enable me. Okay, now this works somehow. So nice. But the thing is that before I did this in models. So wait a moment. Before adding these models, I need to understand which branch or tag do I want to add initially to the repo. Okay, and that's the that's the idea. So which one should I be using? So maybe I need to be using the salsa Debian whatever originally, but it in live build thing. So we're going to discuss all of these right now. Um, Thanks to a new folder. So this is going to be number 5, and so it's going to be live build commit, live build commit, uh, live build subbundle. So live build subbundle setup. So live build subbundle setup. So introduction. We want to add live build subbundle um, to the main Rescatux repo, but we are not sure which tag exactly to use. We will use so so I think that we should also make here like a snapshot of what we have done and then decide what to do with all of this. But the difference is that here probably, there's no untrack files, so we can go on with that much more easily. So the idea is that if there are no untrack files, we can okay, let me see, num prefer dev02. Yeah, let's explore all of these, and I think we're going to just use a new branch, and we will be adding whatever we need because currently we are far behind what we want to be doing. Oscar, what the hell is it? Oscar, it was someone. Reg alterator group.cph and purpose. Oh, look at that. So here we have make more space so that the EFI files fit in this full Docker build support. Wait, we have added Docker build for for live builds. So I wonder if we can add Docker build to live build, but from outside of it, so that we don't mess up too much with whatever we were doing. So I guess that we had a, you know what I mean. I guess that we had like this Docker build support. So let me push this thing here. So let me push into GitHub origin bookworm. I'm not doing this right. Bookworm Docker live ID div05, and the other one is, it's pity that this doesn't autocomplete. Free farewell div01. Okay, so now we have more or less the latest work on all of this. We have pushed this into different repos. You know what I mean? This one I don't care because it's already in this dev2 thing. Although, yeah. So, look at that. This is master, and then we add Docker build support and so on. And we add a lot of stuff in here. So Docker build support, it's like that there's a directory where we built everything, and this is how we built all of this. So maybe the idea is that we don't have to have this thing inside of this, but in the outside, which would be Rescatux build system itself. But I'm not sure about that. Additional thoughts. Should we have a Docker branch that adds Docker build to live build as we did in the past? Or maybe we should have Docker file in the Rescatux repo. Or maybe LLM already thought about that. Okay, so in any case, what I want to be doing is just using master, updated master, and yeah. Let me check if master is still the main branch instead of main, and let me also check what the additional thought that we have here. So do we have to add Docker directory or not? Docker thing. So let me check this thing here, which is the repository layout, which I think I'm going to just copy because it's going to be useful. So here on the nodes, we can have something like Rescatux 2026 repository layout. Okay, so we just keep this thing here so that it's easier to read. And that's it. Okay, so now we have this repository layout on the top, and we can think, is there anything? Look at that. Live build hits a bottle builder, Docker file, Docker file. This is the Docker file for live build and the Docker file for live boot, which it's going to simplify the stuff because we don't have to have Docker file. Okay, so yes, the LLM already thought about builder deps docker file dot live build and the other one, which is the live boot one. So that way I can just focus on, on having. Okay, so again, we don't have to care too much about these two files. And now we have to decide which is the one that we're going to be using. And the one that we're going to be using is master updated. And we're going just to have a, to update master. And that's it. So, let me see. So, let's try to end this thing soon. Non-free firmware. Okay, so we have master. From master, I'm going to say that this is 2026 master. If this doesn't work, doesn't matter. So now we are in 2026 master. I'm going to pull. Let me see, which is the remote for salsa upstream. So salsa upstream, yeah, that makes sense. So hit pull salsa upstream master. Okay, look at that. And last commit is from March 8th, 2026. So that's what we actually want to be using, just in case we want to send stuff to yeah, look at that, live build release. Yeah, so live build release, it's a directory that does not exist in the 2026 dash master. That's why it's here. And yeah. So this is what the hell is in here? Live build release. Yeah, so this is something that we want to be having in a work tree so that we know how to work with it. That's what we did the other day, and we almost lose everything. So now I know how to do this, more or less. And yeah. So basically, what I want to be doing is to just swap the names. So what I do is live build this is going to be called live build okay, so let's go back to live build. I'll check check out the old stuff. So the old stuff. What was the old stuff name? The old stuff was found. Wait a moment. This is Rescatux. Let's ignore it for now. This is the one. So Docker, firmware, whatever. So copy name. So let's go back here, which now we have that live build release, which is like empty. So maybe it's in hit ignore, so we don't see it. And so this is going to be live build pre. Okay, let's see how I call this thing. Rescatux. So pre 2026 architecture. Yeah, here there are no untracked files, but I just want, damn it, this is not right. So this is live build dash pre 2026 architecture. Okay. So live build pre 2026 architecture, which is going to be with this dev02. Okay. So now I want to create a submodel that it's going to be using master, and so it's not a submodel, it's a work tree. Yeah, so the branch already exists, so it's hit work tree at branch master, and this is going to be called live build. Live build upstream master. Okay, so we already have this thing around here. So let's do it with 2026 master. Okay. Look at that. So now we have two different directories. So one of them is live build, which is what I want to be using, which has 2026 master, and the other one is live build 2023 2026 architecture, whatever. So if you take a look at the first one, you will see how there's a .git, but inside this .git, if you take a look at it, it's not a directory, it's a file that points to this new, it points to this to this work tree, which is, wait a second, is this what? Yeah, so this references the live build directory thing, okay? And if you take a look at live build pre whatever .hit, you can see how this is the actual hit, and there's no hit ignore apparently. So we want to swap them out. So live build .hit, it's going to be live build pre whatever .hit new. Okay, and live build pre .hit, it's going to be live build .hit new. Once we have done the swap, we can go with every one of them and just do live build.hit and live build pre dot GNU live build pre dot hit. But now the problem is that probably the path is not right. So if you go to live, if you go to this thing, so it's going to be reading the live build thing, which is not right. And if you go to live build, it's going to have, I think I have messed up because the idea was to have a so live build here. So the idea is that this hit should point to the actual work tree that matches this this thing. So this live build is actually this one here, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you edit this hit, it should be the other way around. So like this, and then this is live build. Okay, so now we don't know if this is going to work or if this is going to be exploding somewhere. So apparently, according to this, we have messed up around again, which is live build is this thing, and here I'm not sure what's going to happen. So this one thinks to be in 2026 master, which is pre-architecture. This is not what we were looking for. I think we can do something like this. So live build is live build new, and then we can do this thing here again. Wait a second, live build new. So now hit work released. So it says that this 2026 master is printable. And so my question is, where the hell this pre-architecture is not here? Pre-architecture matches 2026 master, isn't it? Which was what we had here is 2026 master, which matches this one here. So let's pretend that this one is live build real quick. I think I don't know how to do this, but we will figure out and fix it. So now this is not printable, but we can maybe rename a directory. So rename work tree, hit rename work tree or something like that. Move. You can move this from here and there. Not the work trees don't have things that everyone would gonna name, but rather path. Work tree move. Okay, let me see. Hit work it tree move. What was the name? Here it is, live build pre-architecture. Live build.hit. Wait a second. Why does it say that this is not a .hit? Hit there. Work tree new path. Oh, wait a second. So I need to move the work tree, which is here. Format move work tree to the new path. Work tree repair. Wait a second. There's a work tree repair thing. So this is the new main, and we want this to be renamed. So for non-main work tree, just use hit work tree move work tree, which is the work tree new path. Note that the main work tree or linked work trees contain some models. The hit work tree I'm just going to link it if you move the main work tree manually. Wait a second. Maybe that's... So what about doing something like live build pre-architecture? So apparently we can do something like go in here, live build, hit work tree, list, and then there's hit work tree repair. Have we fixed anything? I'm not sure. So the idea is that live build new. Okay, let's see if we have managed to do anything. So, in theory, now we should be able to move this work tree in a new path, which is the path that we want to be using always, which is pre whatever. Yeah, so just copy and paste this command here. Why does it says that this does not exist? Okay, because it's printable. Way. In any case, it's true. If I don't want to, so this is live build release, isn't it? So let's move live build release out of the way. This is going to be the most interesting thing. So hit worked release. Okay, it says that this is printable. We're going to print this thing here because I don't want to see it anymore. Work tree add. Work tree prune. Options. Which are the options? So it's remove. So should I just use hit work prune and okay, look at that. I think we have managed to do something, but you know, hit build new live. So here now we should be able to repair. Hit work tree. And so the idea is to check out 2026 master. Okay. And we also want to create a new work tree in work tree something something, which it's going to use our favorite where is it, our favorite branch, which is this one here. I mean, it's not, it's at, okay. This already exists. Live build bread to okay. Wait a sec. Okay, so let's try to fix this thing quite fast because otherwise we're not going to do it. So now I have removed that directory that doesn't want to do, and now we have this thing. So now that we have this thing, we're supposed to be able to tell to this architecture we want to be using. So if you take a look at here, you're going you don't. So there's this live build release, okay, which has a hit ignore. So we're going to remove this thing here, and we're going to be using live build release that we have used later on. So TMP that has a lot of stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And that way, okay, so live build release like this. And now we should have, wait a moment. Do we have files in here? Yes, this is the one that I want to be put in here in live build pre 2026 architecture. Live build release. live build pre to be deleted. That's why you don't have to delete the stuff. You just have to. Okay, so now we have everything okay. And if you take a look at live build release, we have some binaries just in case we need them somehow in the future. Okay, so now we have this live build pre to be deleted, which we can delete because this is nonsense that we don't need for anything. So now in live build we should have a .hit with a lot of stuff, and if you do hit work tree list, we have the pre 2026 architecture with this docker nonfigware def02, which is what we wanted to have right now. So now we have the 2026 master that it's tracking the what the hell? Why aren't you tracking master? So we're going to be tracking master B2. We are going to be removing 2026 master, please, with, I'm sure, because yeah. And so now we can move this thing to 2026 master. So now in theory we have this master, okay, and now we can pull from salsa upstream master, which is going to be into this 2026 master new branch, which is going to help us to do this thing. So look at that. March 2026, 8th of March 2026 master, salsa upstream master. And this is it. Now we have live build with the master. So let's live build branch. For now we have managed to create local 2026 master, which tracks salsa upstream master. And so the to do is salsa upstream master. So the to do is we need to push to the branch to Rescatux live build public repo and use that as a basis in order to add the submodule. Later on we will use another branch or commit. That's it. And this is where we add the subbottle, and this is something that we will be doing the next day, okay? Because we have managed not to screw up this thing, and yeah. So basically, if you want to rename a work tree, instead of using ChatGPT, what you could have done is this thing here, which is you want to move the main one, you just move a new path, and then you do hit work tree repair. And if you want to move everything but what it's in there, you know, the untrack files, then you just move the untrack files wherever you need them, and that's it. I think that's I don't know. I think that's the best way of doing it, but we will see. So this is everything for today. That's very unfortunate that we wouldn't be able to do anything else. In any case, we have the Rescatux directory around here, which this is working on the 2026 architecture. We have just remove everything and this empty dir and so on. So we're going to just push this 2026 architecture just in case someone wants to take a look. Wait a moment, GitHub origin, isn't it? Yeah. This is just in case someone wants to take a look at these stupid commits that you can see here. So we remove everything and then we add some empty directories. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.